The 90s might possibly be one of the best decades for the hottest teen heartthrobs, and 13-year-old me was living for it. So let's rank my top 90s crushes, shall we? Hey home skillets, I'm your Nostalchic, and I feel like I just invited you for a sleepover because we're about to get our gossip on and dish on the cutest guys of the 90s that we've most likely forgotten about until now. Because let's be real, some of them peaked at Tiger Beat magazine. I'm just saying. I loved the movie Casper for one reason, and one reason only. And that reason was Devin Sawa. Holy crap! When Casper turned into a real boy at the end, that's when I turned into a real woman. I lived that moment in slow motion. Casper went from being like cute little ghost to scary sexy. And then I was putty when he whispered to Christina Ricci, "Yes, you can keep me. I'll also be your baby mama, bro." Next on my list at number 6 is Eric Von Denton, the hottie rollerblader from the Disney Channel original movie Brink. Yeah, you remember. Team Puppet Suds, Team X-Blades. Sure, his hair always looked greasy, but back then I was all about the greaseball hotness. Actually, funny story, I matched with Eric on Bumble a couple years ago, and when he asked me how my weekend was, I said,
Nanya.
Nanya?
Nanya business.
Nanya business. I know, that was super risky on my part, and then he never responded, but I had to, you guys. It was too good not to. Next up for me was Mark Paul Gosselaar. I'm also sensing a pattern here. Apparently I had a thing for bold cut blondes. Anywho, yes, next up at number 5, the infamous Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. Not sure why I thought he was hot, because looking back, his character is an absolute sociopath.
If you join the Corps, you can beat up anybody you want and not get in trouble.
Hey, maybe that's why I now have a thing for assholes. I was pretty certain I was going to marry my number 4, Matthew Lawrence. Matthew was the middle Lawrence brother, and I crushed hard on him, you guys, when he was on the show Brotherly Love with his real brothers.
Deep inside, I thought that you knew. No matter where you are.
And even more so when he was cast on Boy Meets World. We certainly have not forgotten about this hottie over the years, but you may have forgotten where he got his start, and basically my only reason for watching Growing Pains. Number 3, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo was on Growing Pains in the later episodes when the family took him in after they discovered he was homeless and living in the school.
Mr. Seaver? Mr. Seaver? Excuse me?
Homeless or not, that boy was fine, and his dad bod is fine now. This next one is so typical 90s, but it's not a proper 90s heartthrob list unless it includes my number 2, Prinze Jr. I first fell for Freddie in She's All That.
Who the hell does she think she is? I have 2,000 girls in this school, and I could bump monkeys with every one of them.
And what makes him even hotter now is that he's still married to Sarah Michelle Gellar. If that isn't 90s love goals, I don't know what is. And coming in at number 1, are you guys ready for it? He's famously called his initials. That's right. It's JTT, aka Jonathan Taylor Thomas. He hands down takes the cake for 90s heartthrobs for me. While our parents watched Home Improvement for the jokes, we watched for JTT.
Today in the cafeteria, we made Bobby Deavers laugh so hard, he shot peas out his nose.
Then I fell in love even more when he starred in Man of the House.
Okay, Ben, your turn now. Pick a name for Jack, something that tells us how you feel about him.
How about Squatting Dog?
But I think what put me over the moon was his Christmas movie hit, I'll Be Home for Christmas. JTT, the memory of me writing your name, your initials, over and over again in my driveway on the pavement in chalk will forever stay with me. And that's my official 90s heartthrob hottie list. Did you crush on any of these guys? Who were your crushes? Let me know in the comments. Love you all, and I'll see you next week.